Well, Dr. Mohammad Najafi, thank you so much for being here. This is a very important topic for so many people, how to heal, not just individually, but collectively. And having you here as a clinical psychologist and as an expert and teacher on Rumi and poetry, this is very, very relevant for our community and for the world at large. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for your friendship now for so many years. And let's go dive into collective suffering, collective healing, and the power of poetry, Rumi, and light. So, what is collective suffering for you? What does it mean to you, Mohammed?
Yes, how are you, Luis? Thank you so much for inviting me in here. Such a beautiful move that, as usual, I mean, we are very much used to those beautiful moves in different circumstances and different times. Anyways, thank you on behalf of myself and whole the world, since you are the founder of World Happiness Foundation. Well, I thank you for bringing this to my attention. How can we do this through poetry, Rumi, and psychology? Yes, I'm lucky. I acknowledge I'm very much lucky to be a psychologist and to be a poet and to be a Rumi interpreter. So all this together gives me another method of poem therapy, let's say, or Rumi therapy or Rumi healing. That's where I think the magic is. I'll try to go step by step with different um, uh, chapter of this talk. I know to talk about poem and to talk about Rumi, 1 hour is not enough at all. On the other hand, 1 hour is 60 minutes, so we can learn a lot out of it. And beside, I will be waiting for questions. If there's any questions our friends online they have, so we can talk about that too. Well, suffering, I think people are familiar to it. Everybody is familiar to suffering and to trauma. And as I know in previous sessions, you already talked about it with our great psychologists, Edith and Mavis, my teachers. So I think I will be not going into it, but we will be talking about it. Sometime with my clients, I ask them to write about happiness. They write a line, paragraph, a page max. But if I ask them to write about their suffering, they write me a book. So kind of they see that darkness more than the light. To me, it's fine, no problem. It is absolutely fine to me. Why? Because if there is a suffering, that means there are some symptom that something is going wrong. You need to go to doctor to go for cure. So sufferings are actually indications. There are like those lights in our car's screen is telling us something is going wrong. Go for treatment, go for repair, go for reharmonizing. So to me, a suffering is not the problem, and it is the symptom of some problem. So it's like when we have, let's say, a stomach ache, right side down there, then it doesn't mean there is something wrong with my skin. There is something inside going wrong. So you have to go to the doctor. Probably they have to open your belly and then take that appendicite, let's say appendix out. So see, this pain took me to doctor because he's a specialist, and specialists knew how to go for cure. So sufferings are symptoms, are not problems. That's why if we can find what is the reason for the suffering, why are we suffering, then we can find a cure. So that's where our beloved Rumi says, the wound is the place where the light enters you. So there should be a pain, there should be a problem for me to be able to find a solution. This is all about suffering, but I want to go back to poetry and poem. Again, as a psychologist, so I have this side Freud, and the other side I have Rumi, and me, poor boy Mohammad here. Freud says, wherever I go, I found a poet has been there before me. Isn't that beautiful, Luis?
Beautiful.
Why poet has been before him? Freud is a very good researcher. He has done a revolution in psychology. All his life was in psychology, but still he sees a poet was before him. Because poetry doesn't have a limitation. Poetry can fly anywhere. The world of a poet is so huge. The world of the poem is unlimited too. Poet deals with the imagination with no limitation. It's very easy for a poet to say, when I look at your eyes, it means I'm touching the rainbow. And it's so beautiful. How can you touch the rainbow? But see how he brings it out. So the way it's showing that how unlimited we are, and how unlimited our imagination is. So a poet can take us deep inside our own self. A poet will start a journey within our own self. It's the huge kingdom that we have, and we should go and travel in it. Each city, each village, each mountain, each river inside us. To me, that's the most beautiful journey we can ever take. So, people, all of us, we either like writing a poem, reading a poem, or at least listening to a poem. We can listen to a poem and understand based on how I am feeling and which stage I am. That's where Rumi says, if someone after me, like us, reads my poem and he understood the poem good, he understands the poem good, that means he is the poet of that poem.
Mm.
Isn't
Yes.
that beautiful?
Yeah.
Because somewhere up there, soul-wise, we will meet. So he take me to 13th century with him to look into the world from the same window. Poetry is actually reharmonizing. We all crave something, right? To reharmonize. If I'm hungry, to reharmonize my body, I need to eat. If I'm thirsty, I need to drink. Sometimes I need to see a sea. If I don't have the sea, if I am not by the sea, I will bring the picture of it in my room. Sometimes I need to see greens. If I don't have that, I bring a picture. I put that picture in my mobile. If sometimes I crave meeting my friends. I crave my friends. I love seeing my friends. I'm missing them. I'm craving them. It's like when a pregnant lady is craving something to reharmonize the baby and herself. But specifically, she knows what she wants because that type of vitamin or mineral is in, for example, grape. See how specifically she goes? We can go specifically after our needs when we are seeking harmony. Why we go to poetry? Because we are seeking harmony. Whatever goes out of harmony, Luis, will have a problem. If all those millions or billions of cells in my body, they went out of harmony, I'll have a cancer, I'll have a problem. If all world is going into the war, especially in Middle East nowadays, because something is going out of harmony. If we have a conflicts, because things are going out of harmony. So we need to find the core, the problem, the root, and go for healing instead of arguing. So in poetry, we have, especially with Rumi's, cure and preventions. Cure for now and preventions for our kids and next generations. So why I feel I need to read poem? Because something inside me is not okay. Or I have something I didn't say, or I didn't have opportunity, I didn't have time, I didn't know how to say, how to bring it into the words. And Rumi is bringing it out for me. And why I do understand Rumi, and I do understand Shakespeare, and I do understand the other great poets, because I go back to 13th century, or I go back to 400, 500 BCs, and I meet his soul in back there. And we meet there soul-wise. And then I understand his words and he understands me. So the problem or things which are going out of harmony, some of them is for now. Some of them is because what happened in the past. So what poetry does brings me back. I close my eyes. I imagine I'm on the moon. I imagine I'm in the skies, traveling right and left with no limitations, because us human beings, we do not like limitations. That's why we every time look at the sky, because it's unlimited. Then the poem will reharmonize my soul. He will say my words. That's why some of those words makes a lot of sense to me. It's depending on how you're feeling. If you're feeling happy, some words make sense to you. If you're feeling sad, oh my God, it's saying exactly what I'm suffering from. So it's deep there inside. When I come to the Rumi talks about individual therapy or individual healing and a group healing, a collective healing. That's the beauty of Rumi's job, because a lot of psychologists, a lot of scholars, a lot of poets, a lot of great teachers, mostly they either offer personal, individual healing, or the other group in group healing. But Rumi goes with both of them. But the point is he starts from himself. He starts within. How do I need to bring the peace within myself from my heart? How do I need to know myself? And all his books that he has, it's navigate us to that path. So first, Mohammad, I have to get to know myself. And then I go for next circle around me, and then next circle, and then World Happiness Foundation. So let's start with him. when he talks about the first line of the Masnavi, when he says, listen to this reed who's complaining, who's complaining from the separation, who's telling you a story about complaining of the separation. See, the first line, he talked about separation. He starts complaining. Complaining is a suffering. If I'm happy, I have no complaint. Here is when we talk about positivity or negativity, being optimistic or being pessimistic. Some people, you cannot tell them, something is going on wrong because they think you're pessimistic. No, I'm saying this to find a solution. You cannot go to doctor and say, I'm actually very good. I have no pain. Everything is fine with me. Okay, then why are you here? You should be somewhere else now. So the first line is telling me there is a pain, there is a suffering, and that's a huge suffering and called separation. So in whole this book, I'm going to teach you how to go against it. And the first words that he uses, listen. We have to listen. It means we have to wake up. Sometimes we are just into suffering a lot. We're not willing to come out. We just have, like mental rumination. We're just repeating and repeating and repeating. And to whoever we go to, we repeat it again and again and again, and we are not willing to come out of it. We are not willing to come out of it. We are not seeking help. So when Rumi says what you seek is seeking you, if you seek help, help is seeking you too. If you seek suffering, that's what will happen again. So the first word is listen, wake up. The first word is listen, listen to my advices. The first word is listen, I have good news for you. The first word is listen, there is something important going on, you need to be aware of it. But the best interpretation to me is wake up. Wake up. Sometimes we hear, but we do not listen. We hear our body, but we do not listen to it. We hear our mind, we do not listen to it. We hear our soul, we do not listen to it. And then, oh my God, yeah, I had that feeling. Then why you didn't do anything? Why, if you crave a grape, you go, I don't know why my examples today are all on grape. I think I got to grape, some grapes today. So if you feel grape, you go and have it. Then why you feel something else, you don't do it? When you feel you need to be connected, when you need to pray to someone, why you don't? Then do it. So listen. The first word is listen of that huge book of Masnawi Ma'navi. The second one is in, means this. So listen to yourself. Listen to your soul. Listen to your body. Listen to trees. Listen to rain. Listen to everything. Rumi is teaching us art of listening. Art of listening. If we learn how to listen, then we know where is the problem, then we can go for cure. One of the best action that any doctor or psychologist can have is diagnosing, right?
Yes.
The first step is diagnosing. When I diagnose, then I can go for cure. If I don't listen to the patient, how can I diagnose? How can I find what is the problem? If I don't pay attention to my car's screen, if the engine light is on, but I don't know, the coolant is on, how can I find a problem? It stops me in the middle of desert. So if I know how to solve it, I will. If not, I'll go to specialist. Let's focus on listening. Listen, even if we are listening to the poem, to the music, to ourselves, to our parents, to our kids, to our cat, to our everything. When we start listening, we start learning. And when we start learning, we'll have less suffering. That's the first step. Isn't that easy?
It sounds amazing. I've been listening for 25 minutes. I love it. And I can listen for hours. But what I listen as well and what I hear is that for some people, just the act of being in silence and listening is very painful. It's very painful. I mean, some people cannot be in silence for even a minute. What is your recommendation from poetry and from Rumi? How do you actually listen to your suffering?
Okay. Listening means understanding the suffering, right? If I cannot say, how am I feeling? If I'm that much in trauma that I feel helpless, that's the difference between suffering and trauma, right? I feel helpless. I don't know what to do. I go to doctor, to a specialist. But I will not stop. What Rumi teaches us is if you did not find a solution, don't stop. Maybe you don't know. There are other people that they know and they can help you. So Rumi in his books is giving us hope. That's why he, in his words, when you talk about Rumi's words, Rumi's poetry, it's a dance of words, right? It's a dance of words. It's like piano, up and down, then it gives you good music. I have to go through up and down. I have to be under pressures and heat to become from charcoal to the diamond. So acceptance is the most important part of our job. But not acceptance as an helplessness. I accept I have this problem, but I go for healing. My height is 170 and I go volleyball. So it shouldn't be there. So what I've done, I jump higher than my usual. So I equal my friends. If they jump 30 centimeter, I jump 40 centimeter, 50 centimeter. Isn't so it's possible. I find out what is the problem and I found out where is the solution. When they go to the to therapists, for example, for the sufferings, because therapists are looking from up high there, with a lots of tools of therapy, then they know what is the problem. Sometimes it's just very simple in 1-2 sessions can be solved. Sometimes the trauma or the problem or suffering is not from them, it's from somewhere else. So we need to look for the solution. When I say listen, if they listen to themselves, we said listening is not hearing, listening is understanding. This is the difference between hearing and understanding. So if they listen, if they hear and they did not understand, they are not actually listening. It's not effective listening. So that's my answer. So as if I need to learn listening, we need to learn art of listening.
How beautiful. Do you have a poem in mind for this time where we see so many people under unease, I would say unease and discouraged?
Yeah. World all the time was up and down. All the time was up and down. This is one of those two. But as a human being, if I didn't suffer for what's happening between brothers and sisters, they're killing each other, that means I'm not a human being even if I don't feel suffering. So but what we need to do, Rumi says, جمعیت کفر از پریشانی ماست. If word is going to denial, is going wrong, it's because we are crazy if because I'm not paying attention, because I'm not in my place. I am responsible for the war which is going into the Middle East. You are responsible. Each one of us are responsible. If during the peace we solve that problem, we wouldn't reach to this day to see all those videos from those all kids from Palestine and Gaza and Israel that we're suffering now, but we didn't do anything else 10 years ago. We didn't do anything 5 years ago. We need to do something. From today, no problem, we will do it from today. So we all wake up when things are broken. Rumi is saying, if there is a war, it's my responsibility too. It's your responsibility too. So, but the first job is to go for curing myself. Vishnuvin Nay, listen to this reed, to this flute, how it's complaining and telling you the story of separation. Vishnuvin Nay chun shikayat mi konad, bas judai ha hikayat mi konad. So I heal myself, then I heal my surroundings, then I heal my other people. Then if there is, if you say, okay, we are normal people and there are mayors and there are presidents and there are kings. Okay, kings will be one of us. The presidents, there will be one of us. Let's start from today for our next generation to work on them. That's why when I say about the poetry, it's a cure for now and prevention for future. Then we will not have a problem if we listen. Yeah. All right. Is there any question from our friends? So I think I became like too much into it.
No, this is great. Actually, there are many people who said, who are saying that maybe we can go through a poem. Because I see here being present through seeing, listening, feeling ourselves is being present with everything around us. How do we contemplate? How do we actually encourage this being present when there is so much distraction everywhere?
Okay, so you want me to pick one of the Rumi's poem?
Yes, please.
Sure. Give me a sec.
Actually, there is one that I put on the chat that I really love.
Which one is that?
Is resplendent with grace. Yeah, this is, to me, is amazing because it's about how we greet from my heart. It says, greetings from my heart to you who are always with me, hidden inside as the heart. You are the compass of my life. My course is your way, no matter where I go.
Wow. I think you're so connected to him.
Well, after learning from you for more than 2 years, that's my journey. Then it keeps going because it says, you exist everywhere and in everything, always watching over us. My soul brightens in the darkness when I speak your name. Far beyond the body, there is an opening from my heart into yours. Through that opening, I send you secret messages like the moonlight. I polish the mirror of my heart to be your reflection. I make my ear the receiver for the tenderness of your words. You are in the ear, you are in the mind, you are in every burning heart. What am I saying? You are I. This is my way to describe you.
Wow. Wow. You picked a beautiful one. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's all of them are amazing. I will go just for because if I want to interpretate, it
Okay.
takes a bit of time. So, but I will say it in very short.
Okay.
Then together we can have like a meditation, and then we can, which is a Rumi meditation. So I will say in very short one of his very famous poems, and but well, I read it in Persian, so because I want you guys to know the rhythm of the poem, and uh, how harm how many I mean how harmony entered enters into our heart by reading this poem. It reharmonizes us, and it's kind of bring us back to ourselves. So we can think about so many things, but when we read the poem, we just narrow it down. In this poem that I'm going to read a part of it, a little part of it, or some lines, some verses of it in Persian. Even if you don't know Persian, but still you feel the rhythm of this beautiful poem. And then I'll talk about a few words of it. بنمای رخ که باغ و گلستان ما رسوست، بگشای لب که قند فراوان ما رسوست. ای آفتاب حسن برون آ دمی ز ابر، کان چهره مشعشع تابان ما رسوست. I'll go for another part of it. والله که شهر بی تو مرا حبس می شود، آوارگی و کوه و بیابان ما رسوست. گفتند یافت می نشود جسته ایم ما، گفت آنکه یافت می نشود آن آرزوست. This is up 24 lines of poems. I just read few part of it because I want to tell you the rhythm. See, the rhythm is calming me down. There's another one when we says جان جهان دوش کجا بوده ای، نی غلطم در دل ما بوده ای. See, it's like making me dance. Or when the other one says that we talked in one of the Rumi interpretations, مرده بودم زنده شدم، گریه بودم خنده شدم، دولت عشق آمد و من دولت پاینده شدم. گفت که سرمست نی، رو که از این دست نی، رفتم و سرمست شدم وستر با کنده شدم. See, the rhythm of this is high. The rhythm of the first one is low. So we will talk about the last one that I said. He says, I was dead, I became alive. مرده بودم زنده شدم، گریه بودم خنده شدم. I was crying, mooing all the time. I started laughing and being happy. دولت عشق آمد و من دولت پاینده شدم. The treasure of love came and I became into the immortal empire. See how dark and light he's bringing in together. Death and life, crime and laughing. And bringing me into the infinity, to the immortality with one word, and that called love. So I've been dead. Dead is then you suffer, then you're dead. You're finished. He says, I've been like that and I became alive. So it's giving me hope. مرده بودم زنده شدم. When I became alive means I can walk, I can talk, I can eat, I can drink, I can dance, I can do everything. I can work, I can teach, I can learn. And this is all that means I'm alive. مرده بودم زنده شدم. گریه بودم خنده شدم. I was all sad, I was all crying. And I'm happy now. So see, for each suffering, for each trauma, for each problem, he's having a solution. دولت عشق آمد و من دولت پاینده شدم. He's summarizing it in this one. I mean, hold the poem. When you read the poem, hold the poem. He summarized it in this verse. Since a love came to me, then all of the problem disappeared. Then I'm all in happiness. And love, as we said, is the light. When there is a light, we can see things around ourselves. We can enjoy everything. I like watching the fighters like F-22, F-16, da, da, da. But now, because there is war, I don't like it. I hate them now. But why? Because now it is dark. In the darkness, you don't see the beauty. There is no beauty in darkness. In the light, it's beautiful. If we didn't use it for killing each other, it was so beautiful. So we need to pay attention to the solution than to the problem. Problem is only as a symptom to bring it out, diagnose, and go for solution or cure. Problem, diagnose, solution. Problem, diagnose, solution. That's what all we need to do. We cannot stay in suffering. So مرده بودم، زنده شدم، گریه بودم، خنده شدم، دولت عشق آمد و من دولت پاینده شدم. Let's give more light. Let's give more knowledge, more awareness. All of us, one by one, all of us are important. We could stop all of those wars in the world. We didn't do it. Let's do it from today. Let's spread the light and love. If there's no question, we'll go for meditation. I cannot hear you, Luis.
Yeah, well, how powerful. Let's go for meditation. There's one question, but maybe we can do this after meditation, or during meditation. And the question is about how can we effectively integrate Rumi's poetry into our daily lives for practical and meaningful applications?
I love that question. It's so beautiful. Yes. Sometimes people, we only read the poem and we enjoy that time and we finished. Because we did not listen to listen. The first word of Rumi's poem is listen. We didn't learn listening. Listening means understanding and practicing. When you ask your son to do something and he doesn't do, you say, you don't listen to me. I told you don't drive fast. You don't listen. He doesn't listen at all. So let's learn the art of listening. We were talking about our Rumi interpretation courses in World Happiness Academy. We can inform all our friends, because the first part will be opening up the first poem of Rumi, which I believe it's the alphabet of understanding Rumi. It's alphabet of the rest of the book. If I did not understand the first chapter or the first poem of Masnavi Ma'nawi, I will not understand Rumi. I will not understand his poem. I cannot practice it because I did not understand it good. It's beautiful, but it's not tangible for me. We can invite people to that course, and the first session can be complimentary for everyone. They can come and attend the course, because that where we'll be talking fully about the alphabet of Rumi's poetry. And I promise, if we understand the alphabet, we do understand his poems. Then we can practically have them in our daily life. I think we said that we set it, the date. Would you want to recheck?
Yes. So actually, Magda, this is a question for Magda Torres. We are going to be starting a Rumi study group 2 weeks from now, November 25th.
Yes.
We are going to be doing this at the same time, 12 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to be a study group where we really go deeper into the strategies that can be employed to foster a deeper appreciation for for Rumi's poetry, and how we can use that in our daily life. So we invite you and everybody who wants to join. And this will be, the first session will be on November 25th.
Yep. Yeah, that's yeah, because I like to start step by step so we can understand exactly what he means. To wrap for now up, and then we go for meditation. So to talking about the collective suffering which is happening around, especially nowadays in Middle East. I know it's everywhere, but especially nowadays in Middle East, in the worst shape of it. We're talking then about the collective healing. So we said collective healing. We start from my own self, and then I go from my surroundings. And when with what you are doing, what other people are doing, what probably you and UNICEF are doing, other our groups, how to take care of those kids, how to help them, at least these kids, they will not grow up with traumas. Because if they grow up with traumas, later on, there will be another killers. Because each one, and with their own logic, the other party is wrong. So that's where we need to help. Maybe we need to do a group healing for the people who are in the war. Imagine that if you're sitting in your home in a kitchen, a pan falls down, we'll get shocked. It's not easy, even us grown-up people. Then what happens is if by your windows, I don't know, bomb. It's not easy. We need to help them now before it's late. And if you have a group of psychologists, I will be one of them with all pleasure to help those families, teenagers, kids, to come out of the sufferings. And if you think I can do psychologically, I will do. If you want me to do from poetry side, I will do that too.
Absolutely.
We can have a group for it.
Yes, and we are doing this.
Yeah.
Very important. Thank you, Mohammad.
You're very welcome. Okay, ready to do the meditation?
Let's do this.
All right. So our meditation is all in silent. We do it like a few minutes only. So then close your eyes. I will say the rest. Everybody close eyes and start having a deep breath, very slow one. This meditation is very soft and simple. We are going to do a meditation of heartfulness with Rumi's method. Imagine that you're inhaling a light green air. It's going all inside your body, everywhere. And when you exhale, the gray air goes out, all the fatigue, all the problems, all the sufferings. So by every time breathing, you are purifying your body, your mind, and your soul. Green air is going inside my body. It's healing, it's purifying, it's cleansing, and all the sufferings and everything goes out with my exhale. We pay attention to our heartbeat. We look at our heart. We can see our heart. and listen, we listen to the most beautiful music, which is our heartbeat. Oh, oh, oh. We feel the beautiful light inside our heart, so bright and clean. This light is expanding, getting bigger into whole my body. All my body is becoming full of light, full of cure. No any gray or dark spot left in my body. My body is like a crystal, see-through. That's why this light can go out of my heart and body. It can go to my home, to where I'm sitting or standing now. It can go to my neighbors. And it's expanding very fast. Expanding to whole my city, all the country, all around the earth. It's going all around the earth. And specifically, we share this light with our beloved people in Palestine and Israel, with those kids, with those older and younger, with those innocent angels. And the light is expanding more and more. More and more is going into universe. Yes, our light is going to universe. It's enlightening all the universe and purifying all the world. Yes, it is our light. And here we pray for ourselves, for each other, and for all. We pray for the leaders who are making decisions. We give them light so they can make a right decision to bring peace and harmony to everybody's life. After finishing our prayers, we'll have a deep breath. And with a beautiful smile, we will open our eyes. So we can do meditation even in 4 minutes. So there is no excuse for meditation. Every time, anywhere, we can do our meditation. So by individual healing, we go to collective healing.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, please.
So yeah, to me, I saw so much light. So the message that I definitely got is be the light. Let's be the light that we want to see. Let's send that light to everybody. Let's be the peace that we want to see in the world. Let's be the happiness that we want to see in the world. It's about really being and incarnating those states in order to move them to everybody. So thank you so much for this. It was beautiful.
You're very welcome. Thank you for making such opportunity for me and so many other people. Yeah, I'm so hopeful that we will be continuing this series that you started with other friends and other groups, because each one they can bring their own experience into it, and everybody's experience is important to us.
So thank you so much again, Dr. Mohammad Najafi. For those interested in Rumi and poetry, we start on November 25th, study group, going deeper into the alphabet of poetry and Rumi. And you are all invited to do this. So you are very welcome. Hopefully we'll see you there.
Thank you so much. Is there any questions or something that I can answer?
I think that the meditation was so deep that
Some of them are feeling meditation.
we are so into this. So I don't know if you have any final words or recommendations for people.
Just we need to listen. We need to learn art of listening, understanding.
So let's listen.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. As usual, you're doing brilliant job. Thank you so much. All
Thank
the
you.
best. God bless you, sir.
Take care.
Bye.
ای قوم بهار رفته جایی